Good morning children and welcome to the online session of English Grammar of class 5. We were doing the third chapter, which is subject and predicate, okay, and I almost did the first page of it, okay. I taught you what is a subject and a predicate. A sentence contains two parts, okay. One is the subject and the other is the predicate, alright, and we were doing this part, the order of the subject and predicate. Usually the subject comes before the predicate, but often for emphasis the predicate can come before the subject, okay. We know that the subject comes, most of the times, usually means most of the times the subject comes before the predicate, but it is not always so, okay. Sometimes it happens that the predicate comes, before the subject, okay. Let us look at this example. In that jungle lived a lion. In that jungle lived a lion. In this sentence, what is this sentence about? Who are we talking about in this sentence? We are talking about a lion. So lion is the subject, but this subject is coming in the end. And what are we talking about this lion? What is the information or description is given about the lion? What is the activity of the lion here? In that jungle lived. A lion lived in that jungle. So this is the predicate. Alright. So in these type of sentence, the emphasis, the focus is more on the activity of the subject. Okay. And therefore the predicate, you will see that the predicate coming before the subject. Okay. This sentence can also be written as a lion lived in that jungle. In this type of sentence, the subject comes before. Here, the subject is coming before the predicate. A lion is coming first and lived in that jungle. Predicate is coming afterwards. Okay? Now, look at some of the examples, some more examples. The subject is usually placed before the predicate, but sometimes the order is changed. I told you that it is not always that you will find the subject coming, before the predicate. Sometimes it also comes after the predicate. Example, the letter came after a few days. The letter came after a few days. In this sentence, look at this sentence carefully and tell me, what is this sentence about? What is this sentence about? What are we talking about here? We are talking about the letter. So the letter is the subject, okay? And what is about the letter that we are talking? What is the description being given about the letter? What happened to the letter? The letter came after a few days. So came after a few days is the predicate. Okay? This is what we usually see in normal sentences. But sometimes, the words are, it can happen that the subject may come afterward. So look at the second sentence, you will come to know the example of it. After a few days came the letter. After a few days came the letter. Now look at the sentence and tell me what is about which topic we are talking about in this sentence. What is the topic of this sentence? What are we talking about in this sentence? We are still talking about the letter. So the letter is the subject, but this subject is coming at the end. And what are we talking about the letter? What happened to the letter? That it came after a few days. After a few days came the letter. So predicate is coming up before the subject. So this is, in some cases, in some of the sentences, you will find predicate coming before the subject. It happens only when we try to put more focus on the emphasis is more on the predicate. Okay, to put more focus on the activity or the action. This type of examples we find when we want to put more emphasis or more focus on the activity. After a few days came the letter. So here the predicate comes before the subject. However, in both the sentences we see that the meaning is still the same. The meaning is still the same. The letter came after a few days. After a few days came the letter. The meaning is still the same. Only the subject and predicate, the placement of this subject and predicate has changed. In the first sentence the subject is in the beginning, and in the second sentence the subject is at the last. Alright, this is how we find, sometimes we find predicate coming before the subject. So the subject is, can come in the beginning as well as at the end. Okay, so the subject can come in the beginning as well as in the end, at the end. Take up second examples. We will take a second example. A lion came out of the jungle. A lion came out of the jungle. What are we talking about in this sentence? We are talking about a lion. So lion is the subject. And what happened to the lion? What the lion did? Came out of the jungle. So this is the predicate. It is telling something about the subject. Alright? Now look at the second sentence. Out of the jungle came a lion. What are we talking about in the second sentence? We are still talking about a lion. So the subject remains the same. But the subject comes at the end in the second sentence. And what is this? What happened to the lion? What did the lion do? It came out of the jungle. Okay, so this is the predicate. Now here also you can see predicate coming before the subject. Alright. In both the sentences the meaning is still the same. A lion came out of the jungle. Out of the jungle came a lion. So these are some of the examples wherein you will find predicate coming before the subject. Alright. So we must understand what the sentence is trying to talk about. We must understand what the sentence is trying to talk about. If you want to find out where is the subject, first we have to understand what the sentence is about. Okay? And then you will know the subject, and after that you will know what is the predicate. Alright? So now, let us read. Again, in imperative sentences, the subject is not mentioned. Now, in imperative sentences, the subject is not mentioned. Imperative sentence, I hope you remember. Okay, I have already taught you. Imperative sentence keep coming, it keep repeating in some of the exercises, in some of the lessons, in some of the chapters. You will come across imperative sentences many times. So we have already learned that an imperative sentence is that which expresses a command, a request, or an advice. Okay, you must remember it. Examples: go to sleep. This is a command. Okay. In these type of sentences, the subject is not mentioned. It is not written. You can say that in these type of sentences, the subject is not written. It is not written. It is hidden. Okay, it is hidden. It is invisible. Okay. Okay, it is invisible. Sorry, it is invisible. You can say that it is hidden, or it is invisible, or it is not written. Simply not written. But it is always understood. It is always understood. Okay? Go to sleep. This is an imperative sentence, a command. Here, if your mother looks at you children and say that go to sleep, if they ask you to go to sleep, what does she mean? If your mother says go to sleep, it means you go to sleep. Okay? It obviously means you to go to sleep. Okay? So you is not always mentioned. So this you is implied. It is understood. Okay? It is not written here, but if in exam it is asked, what is the subject in this sentence? Go to sleep. So you must not write that there is no subject here, because the subject is you. However, it is not written here. Okay, even if it is not written here, it is understood. It is implied. Next, get up from the bed. This is also a command. It comes under imperative sentence. So, if your mother in the morning, she asks you to get up from the bed, Whom she is pointing at? She is pointing at you, na? That command is only for you. So it is an it is not, even if it is not said, it is understood. So here also it is not written, but it is understood. So if I ask you what is the subject in this sentence, get up from the bed. The subject is you. The subject is you. So look here. In imperative sentence, the subject is always you. It is not mentioned but always understood. For example, go there. If someone asks you to go there, it means the subject is, what is the subject? The subject is you. Now, if you go to your doctor and your doctor says take medicine on time, whom the doctor is pointing at? The doctor is pointing at you. He is giving the advice to you. So the subject is, what is the subject in this sentence? The subject is you. It is so simple. Okay. Now, if anyone asks you to come here, if anyone looks at you and says come here, what is the subject here? Who is being asked to come? You. So you is the subject, though it is not written. Alright, so let us move to the next page. These sentences actually mean you go to sleep. Here it was written, na? Go to sleep. Get up from the bed. What does it mean? It means you go to sleep or you get up from the bed. It may not be written. It may not be mentioned, but it is understood. You is the subject. You is the subject. It is not stated. It is not stated means it is not written in the sentence, but implied. Implied means understood. Always understood. It is not mentioned, but it is understood. Next one. Now I hope you have understood this, the concept here about the subject and predicate. Now we will move to the exercise. So before doing the exercise, look at this box. To find the subject, ask what the sentence is about. I've always been giving you examples now, and I ask you, what is this sentence about? What is this sentence about? You know, in these examples I asked you, what is this sentence about? About what it is talking. Okay, the first question should come into your mind, that what this sentence is talking about, or ask